So apparently the music isn't linked to the intro. So Sean, what the hell? Also, the intended rant is that it has been dead calm and foggy as hell here for days, and I had to scrape the windshield of my car 3 times yesterday. That's how foggy it was. This is brutal. What the hell? I think we paid enough carbon tax. Maybe we could lay off a little bit. And Sean is gone today, and as such, we are joined by Vesper. Vesper,
Hey,
welcome to the show. Welcome back. Thanks for coming on.
you don't have to thank me. Sean held a gun to my head. That's why I'm here.
Oh, yeah. He's
Yeah,
known for that. He's
yeah.
known for that. How you doing? Did you have a good Christmas?
Well, I mean, after he let me out of that prison cell, yeah, we had a really good time. My wife and I had to explain to her why I was off for a while, and I told her some crazy Westerners they're jumping into Quebec just randomly. It was a good rest.
Mhm.
It took a bit of time to get the chloroform out of my system, and besides that, it was nice. I got presents. I was semi-conscious half the time. How was your Christmas?
It was good. Lots of kids running around screaming with their cousins, having a great time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. How was New Year?
I don't know. I was in bed early. I had
Yeah,
to get up. I worked that day. I was up at, I think, well, I woke up early, and then you know how you wake up like a little bit before your alarm goes off, and then you
yeah,
don't have enough time to get, because you're like, oh, I've got to get up in an hour.
yeah,
And so my
yeah.
alarm was 4:30, and I woke up at 3:30, and
Right.
then I just sat there thinking about how I'm not going to get back to sleep, and then I didn't.
I just feel
I
bad for you, man. You got to work the next day. I was like, man, I'm waking up. Nobody talked to me. I literally told everybody, do not speak to me. And I just had the best day the day after. But I did
no,
go to sleep.
that was the 31st.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh,
then because of that, I was asleep pretty early.
gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Honestly, this Christmas, this New Year, and it's age, man. I don't need to count down. I'll count it down. My wife and I were in bed. We're like, just let's count down from 10. And then by the time we
You
were
were
done,
asleep at 4.
we were already out. And then when the kids come in the morning, hey, Dad, are you awake? Are you serious? You came to wake me up to find out if I was awake? That's
They
basically,
love doing that. They love
yeah,
doing that.
yeah. Like at least like pile
Are
drive
are
me,
you awake?
or
You awake? You awake?
yeah, or just macho man me, but don't talk to me, jump down, jump from like the top of the bed. Oh yeah, just fall on me and the moms.
Just
I don't care, but don't. Hey, Dad, are you awake? Get out of here. I remember once I pushed his face. And look at my face. He fell back into the wall. He's like, "Ow!" I'm like, "Good for you. Don't come here again when I'm sleeping." I always
well,
tell them it's either a fire or someone cut themselves badly. Anything else, do not come to this room until I get up.
but Dad, it was a concussion, and that wasn't on the list.
Thank God my wife does not watch this episode because you'd be giving her ideas.
All right. Well, speaking of putting holes in the wall, we get to start this year off on some real high notes. So first off, happy Airborne Friday. Uh, and if you got any community notes, leave them in the comments. But this is where it gets fun. We got heists coming up the wazoo this week. 5 facing charges for allegedly stealing over $2 million in merchandise from Ajax Amazon store. They found hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of merchandise at multiple locations and $50,000 in cash. This was basically like, Breaking Bad at the end where Bill Burr and the other guy are like lying back on the pallets of money.
Yeah.
This is basically what they did.
And this is what, like, was this updated on the 24th or was this way before? Like, it looks the 15th, right?
Posted December 24th, last updated December 24th.
On December 15th, the 2 employees were taken. Okay, so this happened before Christmas. Like, these weren't like,
Yeah, so this got reported December 24th, but we didn't have an episode on the 26th. So there's going to be a couple things that are going back to just before Christmas this week. But
okay,
they're worth it.
okay.
So
How much?
anyway,
How much they take?
uh allegedly over $2 million in cash and items. And what the hell is an Amazon store doing with that much cash? Like, it's not like Jeff Bezos is running a ticket wicket that I could just go up and hand him cash and he's going to send me a toothbrush the next day on Amazon Prime.
No, it's true.
I don't know. But
What was it, man? But these people just like walked into like an Amazon warehouse or store.
they were employees. Mahul Baldavab Body Patel of Newmarket, Ashish Kumar Savani, and Bansari Savani.
Yeah. Okay. I understand. I see where this is going to go. Are the rest of the heists going to follow this theme? Are there going to be any guys called Billy Bob or Tommy 2 times or anything like that? Or are they all going to be like Klingon names?
I don't know if it's a Klingon name. One guy's name was Yash Damelia and Jan Viben. Jan Viben. I kind of like that name. Damelia. All right. And then we've got here's the next one. Here's what you're asking.
Okay, that's what I want to let's talk about this one.
Thieves use drill.
The Germans.
Right. Steal 30 million in euros.
Yes,
in a bank heist.
For mein Fräulein. I need the money. I need the money.
Well, that's a bit more Austrian than anything.
Oh, you're going to really rate my German, really, twos?
This is not the hole they used to get to the chopper, okay?
What was it? Just like the distraction? Let us break this wall. We can confuse them. Yeah.
So apparently nobody thought it would be a bad idea to have only a little bit of separation between an underground car park and a bank vault. See, what you're looking at is the bank vault. You're looking through the hole here, and then there's a couple walls, and it looks like maybe about 10 feet away.
Okay.
There's a car park.
Okay. That's nice.
And they didn't even fill the area between the two of them.
Yeah.
There's the car park wall, and then there's a nice little air gap. And then there's the bank vault basement wall. And it's just cinder block. There's no sensors. There's no nothing.
Listen, I'm going to put some of that foil on my head. Is it possible that the owners were planning something, but these guys beat them to it?
Like, I mean, maybe. See,
they were waiting for the right time. And then these amateurs, they come in here and they rob the place when it was our intention. It's not fair.
Well, here's the thing. They happen to hit it exactly right in the dead center of this. This is well done. This is beauty.
I mean, look at that circle.
It's just cinder blocks
on
the inside of
look at that circle, that hole. It's perfectly carved.
Well, it's German craftsmanship, Vesper. Of course it is.
Everything has to be perfect. Even when we're
you got them like sanding the corners while the sirens are on.
Hans, it's not 90 degrees when you are cutting the wall. What is wrong with you?
So they stole an estimated $30 million worth of stuff from the safe deposit boxes. And then, see, here's the difference between the Germans and the fucking French. We covered the heist at the Louvre a few weeks ago.
Okay.
Where they used that dolly and like the handicapped chairlift.
Right.
These guys' getaway car, Audi RS6. And then they're on the Autobahn, never to be seen or heard from again. This is the way heists are supposed to be.
Wait, hold on. What
is it right there?
Just go down that text real quick. I saw something there. It says the affected bank customers have been asked to contact Sparkasse Bank, which has to set up a hotline. Police secured entrances of the branch on Tuesday after a large number of customers gathered outside demanding information. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't sleep last night. We're getting no information. One man told the Welt broadcaster, according to Reuters, as he waited outside the branch, adding that it contained his savings for old age.
Oh, you know what this is? This is Nazi gold.
Oh man. Oh man. I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there. You're going there. All I'm
All right.
saying is, wow, that's bad, bro. This ain't
All
like they're
right.
stealing from the bank. They took people's stuff, man.
Yeah.
People's
Well,
savings,
it's all
life
safe
savings.
deposit boxes, right?
Wow. Okay, let's get next thing. Next thing.
All right.
Oh no, you
Four
told me about
hundred
this.
thousand
This is
dollars shipment.
ridiculous.
Oh,
Oh,
$400,000 shipment of live lobsters hijacked on way to Costco in possible ring of thieves. I'm pretty sure it is a ring of thieves, to be honest with you. Not a lot of details yet. It doesn't say whether it happened. Like, was this them stealing the boat? Was this on a semi? Like, it doesn't, but 400,000 live lobsters. Vesper, I got to ask you something here on
all
a
right.
personal note.
All right.
Do you know what's worse than lobsters on your piano?
No.
Crabs on your organ.
All
Okay.
right. Oh.
So,
Oh man. Man, Sean, if you're watching this, bro, I feel bad for you, man. You gotta hear these pum chings, these one-liners from twos. Oh
okay.
man. I gotta think about my organ. Thank you.
So, some place just outside of Boston. You know what this place is called?
What?
Taunton, Massachusetts.
Okay.
So, I wonder if they named it after the smelly animal from the start of The Empire Strikes Back.
I don't
Right?
know.
You know, when Harrison Ford cuts it open with the lightsaber and he's like, "Oh, I thought they smelled bad on the outside." That's
Yeah.
a tauntaun.
I mean, dude, as you're driving up to New York from Montreal, you see a ton of bizarre names, man. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they are picking these names out of movies. Catskill. Like, hey, man, what's Catskill, New York? Like, where'd you get
Well,
Catskill from?
okay, at least it's not as bad as Lower Sackville, Nova Scotia.
I have no idea that that's even a thing. You making
It
that
is.
up? Are you
I
making that
swear to
up?
God.
Nah, bro. I don't know. I think you're making that up. If it's a real place, dude, why would you name it that? Lower
Well,
Sackville?
that way people don't get confused between that and Higher Sackville.
Why not just call it testiculitis, Nova Scotia?
Well, I mean, keep in mind it's not very far from Dildo, Newfoundland.
Oh man.
So it's
Oh,
just
dude.
it's like a suburb of Halifax.
Dude, you're gonna alienate your entire Labrador and Newfoundland base with that comment.
What? What am I saying that's out of line? It's literally called Lower Sackville.
No, but the other thing, the dildo thing, that's not a thing, is it?
Oh wow, you need to start seeing more of this country, my friend.
I probably do. No.
Dildo,
No! No, no, no. Okay. Okay. Point made. I bow. I bow. Let's move on. Oh my goodness. Oh
I mean,
no.
you'd think it would be a slightly nicer shape.
Oh no. Like what's next? Butt plug, Nova Scotia or New Brunswick?
Well,
Don't look it
I
up.
mean,
Don't look it up.
you do have Climax, Saskatchewan.
That's kind of weird, man. Holy cow. I didn't even know these places exist. I really do need to start playing on maps the way you're doing right now. I'm going to find some really bizarre stuff. I'm sure. But why is it in Saskatchewan? I would have thought that Climax would have been in Quebec.
Well, this is the top of the world.
Of
This
course.
is
Of
this
course.
is, I mean,
Because that's what I think of when I think top of the world. Saskatchewan.
hey, you know what? If you go from the Alberta border all the way to Europe, there is
Right.
only one mountain peak in Labrador that is a higher elevation than Saskatchewan.
Really?
Saskatchewan has the highest second highest point of elevation between Alberta and Europe.
I didn't know that. Okay. Then I apologize. I had no idea. I honestly thought Mont Tremblant was the highest.
No, dude. Quebec isn't even on the fucking list. Like, if you were gonna find, like, if anything, there should be a town in fucking Quebec called something like erectile dysfunction.
Get your French right, bro. Okay. It's dysfunction. Okay. just for the record. Let's keep going.
Okay. All right. Calgary had
Oh
a
man, yeah, that was bad. I saw that.
giant water main break.
Wasn't this
And
the first? It's not the first time this happened to you guys, right?
no, this on this exact same run. So there's this giant, like tall enough to walk inside of feeder line running from the where it gets the water from a little bit outside of Calgary into Calgary. And it blew up. Well, I guess now it's 2 years ago, but a year and a half ago, it blew up. And then this happened again, but it didn't just leak. This thing was a fucking flood. Like, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we're gonna fucking hell. We've got a.
We're on 16th Avenue and we're in like a flood.
This literally shut down the Trans-Canada Highway.
So hold on. Let me ask you a question. When they fixed this the last time, did they identify what the problem was last time? Was it just
There was a hole in it?
That's all it was. It wasn't severe cold. It wasn't pressure main popping. It was a hole, an actual physical problem with the mains.
It's a problem, apparently, with the design of. So it's not like a regular ass pipe like you would have running between your hot water heater and your faucet. It's this combination of mesh wiring and concrete, and it was susceptible to corrosion and just breaking down over time, which I guess would be corrosion, but not like, but the iron in it would corrode, and then also the cement would eventually break down. There was parts of it apparently where the cement was like talcum powder. And so they fixed the main leak, and then they fixed like 24 other spots along the line. But the problem is that the city of Calgary has been a lot more interested in who has what holes than taking care of the holes underground that they need to take care of.
So I have a question, and I have a suggestion to you guys out in the West.
Is a suggestion to quit worrying about DEI and just fix the pipe?
No, it's actually a little bit more intuitive. The question I have is, how far did this flood extend? Do we know? Or was it just like in a small area of like 500 meters? Or did this go for like a few kilometers?
I imagine it was running across I imagine it ran a long way down the ditches and stuff, because where it was, so where it is, this feeder line goes underneath one of the main thoroughfares through town.
Okay. So this is like a major hub area is what you're talking about in that town.
Yeah. And then just kind of at a lower elevation and a little bit over is the Trans-Canada Highway. And there was enough water coming down that they had to close off the highway. People were being rescued.
So was it on a slope? Like is there an actual incline or decline happening in this part of town? Or is it like just a flat water?
It's not. No, it's well, so it's kind of right by the river. So
okay, I understand. So the suggestion I have is, what are the chances you think for Alberta to contact those Germans that robbed that bank to come and help them with this main, since they're super expert?
That would be perfect. Okay,
yeah,
but they want to have fewer holes in the pipe is the problem.
No, but it's really more about the precision of these thieves. Right?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Right, because it seems like Albertans don't understand, like when you plug a hole, you don't just put a bubble gum in there. You actually repair the hole and change the main. How could this happen twice? This is what I'm not understanding. Twice.
One of two things presumably happened. Either there was a continuation somewhere further down the line of the same problem that didn't get fixed when they opened it all up a year and a half ago, or two, the repairs were substandard. Interesting thing about the repairs, though, is that so despite the fact that the city of Calgary has like hundreds of people, thousands probably working in the water department, they subcontracted all that work out to a third party because they needed to get it done. They needed to get it done right, and they needed to get it done quickly. And their employees sat on the bench.
Well, that's what I'm about to say. Well, why are they subcontracting? Are they doing like something else that's so much more drastic?
No, it's because getting it done quickly and well is outside of the wheelhouse.
So did they hire like Arabs and Indians to do this, you think?
A lot of Lebanese guys. Actually, you probably know them.
Probably. But I don't know. I haven't talked to them in a while.
Oh yeah. It's yeah. I mean, they're a long ways away. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, Regina has been having some issues lately with their electric buses. Now, we talked about when Regina bought the buses. This is technically an update of an article we covered maybe a year ago. But Regina bought a bunch of electric buses after they were a disaster in Edmonton, after they were a disaster in various places in Ontario, Vancouver, all of them. One of the coldest places in the fucking country said, hey, you know what?
Electric.
Let's go for it. Let's go for
Electric.
it. And then, believe it or not, it's been a disaster.
I think everybody west of Quebec is shocked. It's not shocked. It's only the people on the side of Quebec that are shocked. How can this be? Electric is the way to go.
So anyway, also,
what happened?
What do you mean what happened? They basically need 1.2 electric buses to replace every diesel bus. The range sucks, the downtime's high, and
no, that's not what I mean. Like, what actually happened? Were they like driving and then bam, it just stopped working?
No, so in Edmonton, what happened was that the place they bought the buses from went into receivership, so they couldn't get any spare parts for any maintenance anymore, and they're all just parked in the back 40. What's happening in Regina is just that they've got really shitty range, and so their uptime is like 3 hours, and then they got to go back and plug.
But I don't get it, man. Don't before they put these out in public, don't they actually sit there and like run beta trials on this and see, let's see how far this goes,
or maybe just look at comparable places that have done the same thing,
which is cheaper. Yeah, it's just cheaper to do that.
Well, you see, the thing about it is that this purchase was absolutely critical to our city's accelerated leadership on energy and climate. And Vesper, climate change is real. Did you not see the video of what happened in Calgary that I just showed you? Were you watching that? You
Yes.
want any proof that climate change is real? Look at that flash flooding, okay? Cities need to be taking this stuff seriously. But here's the other thing, is it also just so happened that in Edmonton, St. Albert ran another one with the Chinese EV company, and they received a number of awards for their environmental efforts.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. And so, they look at it and they're like, well, I want an award. And as we're going to get to later on, awards in this country mean absolutely fuck all. Okay. I don't know if you've been following the price of silver lately. It's gone to the moon.
As a former jeweler, I type a dabble in from time to time. Silver is a particularly bizarre commodity because...
Why is that?
Well, and again, this is when I used to work with kilos and kilos of silver. We would buy them. They used to be like a tenth of the price of gold, and like way more. So silver never used to be really a viable investment. It was always gold. Like, you put your money in gold or platinum, for example, or palladium, or some of these other precious metals. The fact that it's like silver, and I don't want to ruin it for what you shared with me here, but the fact that it's skyrocketing, like what is it? What's it at now on an ounce?
Just shy of 100. It peaked at 108.47.
Yeah, so like, you see the bottom end down there near the 40. I was able to buy it maybe a decade ago, and something like that, like at 25.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it was really cheap, and the fact that it's gone up to 100, I mean, that's amazing. The fact that it's going up, but is that really what you wanted to cover, or is there something else?
Well, here's the cool, interesting thing about it is, I don't know who this guy uses. It's not Silver Gold Bull, because it looks totally different, but I guess Jam Bullion Pelican might be the company. They're fucking sold out. The distributors can't keep it on the shelves. I don't know how Silver Gold Bull is. It looks like you can still buy it.
Yeah, look, you're always going to be able to buy.
But
silver.
that's the thing is you can with silver gold bull, but other places are sold out of silver.
Yeah, because
they
they
can't keep it on the shelves.
Yeah, but it's because they work through their own, like they're just essentially distributors, man. Like
Yeah,
from
and the
main
distributors
area.
are sold out of silver. That's how high it's gotten lately.
Yeah, I agree. By the way, there was a time, just as a fascinating intro into silver, there was a time where what we would do in jewelry sometimes is we would just tell people that were around us that wanted to get rid of their mirrors, and we had a massive incinerator in the factory,
Okay.
and people would just bring mirrors and everything, and we would just incinerate like hundreds and hundreds of mirrors a week, and we would just collect all that silver off of the stained glass
Why
because
not?
no, but nobody
And
ever thinks about that we used to call mirrors quicksilver, and there was a reason for that.
well,
And
it's
so,
because they have mercury in them.
right, but they were sprayed. Some mirrors were sprayed with layers of silver.
Yes,
Eh,
that is correct. But I mean, I guess
It's changed
it's
now. Yeah,
probably
I don't.
advantageous for you to be friends with a lot of ugly people, I guess.
I mean, look, man, you should not talk like this about yourself. Okay,
Ah,
okay, just saying. I'm just saying. I mean, I hold you in high regard, too. Come on.
fair enough. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, Ukraine got a late Christmas present from your fucking wallet.
Of course.
Another $2.5 billion from Canada to Ukraine.
Yep.
Now, Vesper, you said you wanted to say something about this. The floor is yours.
Well, I mean, I went in to look at the Ukraine project and the amount that's been committed so far. I did a video. So for anybody that wants, just go to the vesperdigital.com to see a video where I actually go through the list, breaking down what we're giving. And it is absurd. And look, I'm not saying it all happened this year, but you know what the funny thing about this too is this is happening like in tandem with corruption investigations into the Ukrainian government.
Yep, absolutely.
And I'm like, do we have absolutely no self-awareness, or are we just like doubling down, gonna ram money there? Who gives who if it's they're stealing the money? We committed to this, and it's becoming more and more apparent that Canada is not actually thinking. The government has surrendered its mind into a collective in Europe. And so whatever Europe says, Canada does.
Oh,
And
you mean like having the prime minister be the former head banker in England? That kind of thing?
or
It's weird.
Bob,
It's weird that everything
or Bob Ray be the UN ambassador to Canada, right?
Yeah, which by the way, for those of you who don't know who Bob Ray is, just look up Ray Days. He was the NDP premier in Ontario 30 years ago, and they ran out of so much. They were so fucking broke that they had to get all the public servants to take Fridays off unpaid.
Yeah, and dude, it's funny because I saw recently a documentary, but I won't talk about that. I guess what I'm trying to say is, at what point did Canada align its policies in the interests of Europe and not Canada? Like no
1867.
like no disrespect. So every country goes through a bunch of shit. Lebanon went through its wars. This country goes through a war. This country has a problem. This country has a problem. Why are they so selective? Oh, Russia's going to take over the world. Russia's not going to take over the world. Russia wants one stupid part of that area. And again, what are we losing by losing that area? With territory. Whose territory? Canada's territory? I don't know. Does Canada have any stake over there? No, we're protecting democracy. Get off your high horses.
That's the thing is that there's always got to be a boogeyman. For the last 10 years, there always has to be a boogeyman because that's how you get people to forget about the bullshit at home. There's always got to be a boogeyman.
Yeah,
it's been Putin. It's been Trump. The boogeyman, the boogeyman, the boogeyman.
And by the way,
they're not looking at it. They're not looking at it as though, hey, you know what? We need to align ourselves with Europe. It's, hey, don't look at this hand. Look at this hand.
Yeah, Russia bad. We get together. We funnel billions and billions of dollars into this one country that has now more money in it than probably any of the other European nations. Like, how many billions have been funneled into Ukraine by now to fight Russia? Are you serious? Like, where
No,
did we
but
all sign? Where did we all sign up and say we are going to basically fund this country's crack addiction by giving them all of our money? Meanwhile, we have food banks that are record highs. Meanwhile, we have homelessness that it's a record high, housing, the pricing, the inflation. I mean, we so casually just gave $2.5 billion, but then you calculate the total amount that they've given. It's so far, just in the last year, they've given $5.6 billion when I did it on my tally on my timeline and on X. And I'm like, what's the cost to just eradicate food banks, period? And it's like $11 billion a year, and you would eradicate all food banks, period. And I'm like, we're giving $11 million as chump change to other countries.
But Vesper, the thing about it is that they're not looking at it and saying, how can this money be best used to serve the interests of Canadians? They're looking at it and saying, how can we spend this money to keep ourselves in power? And if you look at it from that perspective, this makes perfect sense because they're the people who sign the checks, even though it comes out of our pocket.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I think, you know, I'm beginning to become not cynical, but I'm beginning to wonder at what point do we continue? Like, okay, I elect somebody. Let's say I elect Pierre. I know you have mixed feelings about Pierre, but let's say we get Pierre in, and I'm a conservative, and we bring in Pierre. All right. Well, what mechanisms do we all have that actually, as Canadians, allow us to sign some formal petition or agreement that's, recognized by Parliament as saying, whoa, enough? We don't have that.
Nope.
We don't have any brake system. This government, they hold the brakes. So I bring people into this government, and what's my failsafe? That they trust me, bro. And
trust me, bro, is literally, that should be the slogan, like on our money and up in front of Parliament. There should just be a big banner. Trust me, bro. I don't think anybody could have put it better.
It literally is that. I mean, I did this thing the other day with Mona Nemer, who is the chief of science that Trudeau put in. She was being grilled in the committee. Mm-hmm. And the guy was like, look, you make $400,000. What exactly do you do? And so she gives him, like, I hold governments accountable. He's like, all right, that's fine. But what exactly do you do? And then she goes, and I kid you not to, she goes, I'm sure every government in the world has a chief of science advisor. And he goes, okay, the fact that there's other chief of science advisors across the world does not explain what you do. What have you done that justifies us paying you $400,000 and your entire department $4 million a year? She could not give him an answer.
If every other country jumps off a financial cliff, are we going to as well? And guess what? The answer is yes.
Dude, Malay literally gave us the blueprint. Literally, that's the blueprint. You walk in. I don't need you. Dude, the Western Standard posted, and I used it in the video. It was a mock video that I put up. It got a lot of traction. The Western Standard showed. Now I know your whole thoughts on UFOs and everything, but it's still funny. She paid $34,000 to
this head of science.
This head of science to investigate Canadians' thoughts on UFOs. And
I think that's actually money well spent.
I think
absolutely. No. We don't spend nearly enough time talking about UFOs.
No, that's not the point. Explain to me what did you find out? Nothing. What do people think? Nothing. And like, you basically just spent this money accountably, or did you ask? No, we're completely without supervision. Her department has no supervision. Do you understand, Canada 2's Mashup folks? She has no supervisory role. She has terms. That's it. So the prime minister can't come in and just suddenly say, I'm unappointing you, because he would have to unappoint the entire department. She's the
and you're saying that like it's a bad thing.
And
like, you kind of sold me a little bit.
She's actually Lebanese. And she's Lebanese, who came from America to Canada to serve in that role under Trudeau. So what was she in America? Democrat.
Well, of course, I mean, they always take care of each other.
It kills me, bro. We have no guardrails for this stupidity. We can't tell Mary Simon, our Governor General, no, you can't spend $65,000 on your stupid clothing line. By the way, the same Mona Nemer, chief of science, was grilled about how is it that you guys paid for $60,000 worth of patio furniture for your roof?
I'm guessing it's a really big patio.
But again, like, who pays $60,000, man? Like, this is taxpayer money. Do you grab a couple of chairs, go sit outside? Why do you need a patio? I don't know, bro. It's gonna get more depressing if I keep talking. So keep going.
All right. Okay. Well, here's the next one. House of Commons just capped off one of its least productive years. In 2025, Canada's 342 MPs, representing 41 million people and overseeing $500 billion, sat for the fewest number of days since 1937 and passed only 7 bills. This is from Tristan Hopper. Now, on the flip side of that, Canada has been around for a long fucking time. Basically, all Parliament should be doing at this point is just amending a couple things here and there, changing around a little bit of wording and tweaking things. You've had 150 years to tune the machine. If you had an engine that could stick around for 150 years and you had hundreds of people whose job is to make it run better, that thing should be a fucking Swiss clock at this point. But
should
it's not.
be.
It's a shit show.
It's a should be situation, but there's no oversight. And we talked about this, you and I. Tristan Hopper could write about it. There is no defense against privilege. And I told you this a while ago. Ever since the founding of this country, after McDonald, Mackenzie made sure ain't nobody gonna be able to check these people, dude. They check themselves.
Mhm.
They are divorced from the judiciary.
Trust me, bro.
Bro. Trust
me, bro. Like, yeah. I don't know what it is in Latin, but that's what the motto should be. Like, we should get it on a coat of arms or something.
I'll make a graphic for you so that you could use that next time. Trust me, bro. Trust me, bro, in Latin.
Trust me.
Hey, by the way, hold on. Let's just jump to the chats real quick. Some people are like, do people even read the chats here?
Well, yeah. So he's saying, is there any interest in the corrupt child protection that generates funding by taking children into a system away from their families for, as psychologists said, no reason? I can whistle blow. It's a topic. I don't know what you're talking about. I'd be interested in hearing more.
Well, they posted a link to that, by the way, in the conversations.
And then somebody said, can you pull up a map of the area that was flooded? If I'd have thought about it sooner, I could have, but we're live. So sorry.
Hey, thanks, Zane. By the way, Zane's giving us a compliment.
Great first mashing of the year.
Yeah, man.
Zane, always good to hear from you. All right, here we go.
Let's go.
Sing with me. Sing for the years. Sing for the laughter. Sing for the tears. A 22-year-old man, Parminder Singh, has pleaded guilty to 4 charges linked to an extortion scheme targeting South Asian home builders in Edmonton. We talked about this a few weeks ago, how
I know nothing about this, by the way.
Okay, well, they were firebombing a bunch of construction sites.
Oh, okay. Sounds logical.
Glenn Giebert says, Creed mihi frater. I'm guessing that means trust me, bro.
Hey, thank you, bro. That's it. Creed mihi frater. Right, perfect. That's what we're going to do. I'm making it in big and bold and metal. Maybe you could put it in behind you. Like, if you could see it and just put, trust me, bro.
That would be good. That would be good. But Singh admitted to firing 9 shots in a drive-by shooting at the direction of a criminal syndicate known as Project Gaslight, which also firebombed 12 properties. While awaiting trial, here's the thing, they let him out. And while he was awaiting trial, he also directed gang members to continue extortions and arsons. The alleged leader, Maninder Dhaliwali, was arrested in the UAE in 2024, and another senior member, Harpreet Uppal, was fatally shot along with his son. He received a joint sentence of 7.5 years with 4 years remaining after credit for time served. As he is not a Canadian citizen, he also faces possible deportation upon completion of his sentence.
Twos, I think it is probably incumbent upon you right now, if I may say humbly, to explain to the good people that are listening how criminals don't care if you put them in prison so long as the money's in the bank.
Well,
You
if the money keeps flowing, they get out and it's there. So like technically in Canada, let's say you got a mortgage
Right,
and you go to jail.
right.
If you have enough money sitting in your bank account that mortgage keeps paying off, everything just ticks along as normal.
And you could be in prison. Now, if you're a gang member and you have an entire crew under you, you could tell them what to do from prison.
You don't even have to tell them what to do from prison because you get out on bail awaiting your trial. And while
No,
you're
no, I'm
waiting
saying
for it,
worst
you
case
can-
scenario. Bro, I'm
Mhm.
saying worst
Yeah.
case scenario. You're locked up. There's no bail. Doesn't mean like you can't get messages out and like tell people how to do things on the streets for you. And then by the time you get out, what, 5 years, 10 years, you're rich.
Yep.
And like, I think a lot of people don't understand this. Like, why would they do this and get caught? Because they don't care if they're going to get caught. I grew up in gang culture when I was younger.
Mhm.
And they don't care about getting caught. That's not the issue. Is, am I effective at what I'm doing right now? And will this generate income for me that even if I get locked up, I'm positioned in a better place when I come out?
Still making bank.
Right. And I think politicians are, the only difference is they just don't go to prison, but they have the same MO.
Mhm.
That's why they'll do the dumbest policies. And you're like, how could they do this? Well, because
They're making bank. Because they're
'Cause they're
getting
making bank.
paid.
yeah.
Because they're getting paid.
Yeah,
And all
and
they
this
got to
is-
do, all they got to say while it's happening is crede mihi frater.
Right. And think about it. If you, at the end of the day, you and I agree on this. Like, we know none of them care what any of us think. None of them are going to have a shred of hurt feelings for you saying anything. Trudeau does not care what you call him. He doesn't care what you call his mother, his brother, his kids, his wife. He's walking away with millions. That's all he cares about. And so hurling these expletives at these people doesn't work. The right way to do this is to get that bank. If
Hit
you
them
can
where
find
it hurts,
right,
which is
if
the
you-
votes and the money.
and the money, mostly the money. Forget the votes. The money.
The
you
votes is
get.
how you get the money.
What I'm saying is, if they have like a nest egg that if we investigate where these guys' monies go, or really forensically audit where these guys
Follow
make
the
their
money.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna get into this whole thing with
Okay.
Ilhan
right.
Omar after, which is precisely what where I think we're dovetailing into at some point.
Okay. Edmonton man died in a hospital waiting room after begging for help. And each time he approached the desk, he was told to sit down and wait. He laid on the floor asking repeatedly, and staff allegedly told him to move for the privacy of the other patients. They were mad because he was being disruptive while he was dying on the floor of the waiting room in the ER.
Yeah, I saw this. It's hard to get upset because we all experience this coast to coast. In Montreal, my pastor fell on his back on the ice from 10 o'clock till 10 p.m. He was in the waiting room, and he's 72 years old. And he's telling them, I think I broke my hip. I think I broke my hip. And he called me an hour and a half ago. He's like, I'm still in the ER. So
this happens all over the place. Did I ever tell you how my mom died?
No, man. Go ahead.
All right. So she goes in for not a routine surgery, but not a major one. Complications. She ends up in the ICU. They don't have her blood type. So they're out. And so I guess the policy is that you've got to have some spare blood kicking around if somebody's in the ICU. But they said, oh, well, you know what? We got a shipment coming in tomorrow morning. It'll be fine. They didn't ask any of us if we were matches. There's like I got in the next morning, but my two sisters were there. Nobody asked them, hey, are you guys a blood match? Maybe just throw a couple pints in the fridge in case we need it. Nobody asked that. They're just like, it'll be fine. She has complications overnight, is not fucking fine. And then a few days later, we pull the plug. That's our healthcare system. This stuff happens all the fucking time.
And the whole triage thing is a joke. I don't know if you think that that's a joke. Every time I go into triage, they're like on 1 to 10. I'm like, it's a 10. And even though they don't believe me, they have to assign it a 10. And I'm like, you're doing this with all these immigrants who don't care, that we don't care that you like what I'm saying or not. I'm going to say 10. And you have some really honest people that's sitting in the waiting room that are like 6, 5, 8. Every Arab I know is like 10 right away.
Mhm.
And in fact, the mothers tell them it's a 10. Tell them it's 10. It's very bad. Meanwhile, it's just like her fingernail is broken or something. Like, oh, the pain. So real people suffer. And this structure that we have on triaging is so broken.
The whole healthcare system.
Yeah, dude, MRI. I tried to get an MRI. It took me they put me on a waiting list that was 9 months.
Mhm.
A CT scan was 7 months. I ended up having such bad back problems. I ended up paying for my own MRI and CT scan. And that's just one faction, like you said, of an entirely broken system. And it's funny, the one thing all Americans say, you guys have free health care. No, man, we have free death care.
That's exactly it. You know, and then somebody says in Canada, we have universal health care. The most you pay for is parking fees. Well, first off, it's coming off your fucking check. You don't pay it out of your pocket. It's money that never even gets into your pocket.
Right. Socialism. That's how it works.
Yeah. And,
hey,
what
does March say? I don't go to hospitals unless it's actually a 10.
Yeah. But here's the thing is, sure, maybe you have to pay for parking fees and they say you don't have to pay for it out of pocket. But sometimes in this fucking shit show of a country, you pay for it with your actual fucking life.
That's true. Yeah,
that's pretty far removed from free.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fuck. We're running tight on time, but I'm going to play just a little bit of it. CBS is going to try something new in the new year.
Or the president's fitness for office. The point is, on too many stories, the press has missed the story because we've taken into account the perspective of advocates and not the average American. Or we put too much weight in the analysis of academics or elites and not enough on you.
And so they're going to try and do better this year. Basically, the trust and legacy media has evaporated, and they're going to try and do it different and better starting this year. I'm not going to hold my breath, but it would actually be kind of nice.
It's not going to happen, bro. Can't happen. Can't happen. It cannot happen. I just saw today, Moose on the Loose posted, like, we're competing now with media, yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, no, you're not. No one's competing with media. They're still at like 8 to 10 times higher than the highest YouTube channel that we have that's actually preaching this. They're state funded in the millions of dollars.
Billions.
No channel I know in YouTube is making in the billions of money. So how are we ever going to beat mainstream media, especially when they start having the CRTC crack down on what they think is going to be acceptable Canadian content? Right.
Well, and that's exactly it, is that what you're going to see is as soon as you start creeping up into where you are contending, despite the billions of dollars, they're going to shut you down.
Yeah.
Right.
Unfortunately.
Bruce Arthur, Toronto Star idiot columnist. He was trying to clap back at this. We will pander to the hordes of propaganda-dazzled rubes and deliver a fuller version of that propaganda. And I'm an embarrassment to the profession I have chosen to now chosen to betray. No. How many times has this guy personally been fact-checked? It's brutal. You've got the worst people. Here's the thing about this that actually kind of makes me a little bit hopeful, is that the people who are enemies of truth, who are blatantly trying to lie to people as much as possible and pushing as much bullshit as they possibly can, don't like this. All right. Now here, we're going to get into the goofy stuff first, but Vesper did a video. You can see his charming face here.
Right.
And
okay. I mean, I'm just going to
thank you breakdown.
Thank you for doing this. And this is really to talk to everybody here. You'll find it on my timeline, and you should listen to it. I didn't know this, but basically the government of Canada in 2020 throughout COVID, basically the CRA left everybody vulnerable to data breaches between March to December.
Well, if I understood you correctly, they did an unauthorized sharing of 50,000 people's.
No. Twos, let me just say the thing. So between March to December, they weren't properly securing all of our CRA portals, and hackers basically gained access to all of our accounts and were applying for CERB and SEBA. The class action lawsuit is between a gentleman called Todd Sweet from BC, who's basically he levied this lawsuit against the government. It got certified by the federal court, and now like they heard him and everything, and they're like, okay, now that's it. The government itself is basically said, all right, we're going to throw our hands up, but they're going to do the very bare minimum. So they've already conceded that this has happened. 50,000 people's accounts have been hacked, and the government has done basically the most minimum that they could do by posting it on their site and saying they're sending out notices. But again, people's emails were being changed. Maybe some of us never even checked. Now, I wasn't on CERB, I was on SEBA, but I do have a portal with the government. So KPMG, you'll find the links if you go to that post that I did. I put the links there. By January, it'll be opened up where you could check if you're available to be entered into this class action lawsuit that the federal government has already, and the federal court has told them must happen. March is where they will deliberate on if the settlement is fair. But there is a settlement on its way, folks.
So basically, go to the link, see if your name's on the list, because if your name's on the list, you're going to get paid.
Yeah, you're at this.
But the reason why you're getting paid is because the CRA sucks.
Right. And I think this is part of the reason why I thank Twos and Sean for letting me do this, because genuinely I did this so that Canadians could go and see if their data was not only breached. Some of you probably had CERB taken under your name by a foreign actor. So yeah. So go to that post, and I hope it helps you. And I hope you don't find yourself on that list. But if you do, keep an eye out on the other link for KPMG, because you're going to have to register with them at that point, and there might be a payout for you. Thank you for letting me share that.
You're welcome. Now, I don't know if you know this or not, but there's been some issues with Somalians in Minnesota and the daycare fraud. It's been the only thing on Twitter lately. And of course, the usual accusations are all coming out.
It's Democrats who have put Somali diaspora in Minneapolis at the center of their party and their state's politics. It's a small portion of the population. There is a bunch of fraud that goes on. And even Tim Walz has claimed that any investigation of this fraud is akin to white supremacy.
No,
which
he
is
hasn't.
No,
he has not claimed that. He has not said
that. Yeah, he has said that.
This is what happens when your own federal government wages war against you.
Right.
Happens when they target communities for their own benefit. This is what happens when they scapegoat. And this is what happens when they no longer hide the idea of white supremacy.
So, yeah, there was a guy named Nick Shirley who went around to all these Somali daycare centers, trying to find are there any kids there. And then he was going through and basically saying, okay, this one got $1.3 million. This one got $1 million. And on through the list. And he found $110 million worth of Somali daycare centers in one day that did not have kids there. And look, the racism thing, it's important to keep in mind. We don't want to be racist about this, okay? This isn't all Malians. Vesper. This is only some Malians. Okay?
The jokes keep coming. Some Malians. Listen, man, I think we all are not talking racism. That is such a veil to these people. And the worst part is they did it with the Black community. They do it to the Latino community. But I'll tell you what, Twos, in the beginning of the year, one of the problems that I probably didn't have on my list is that billions of dollars were being stolen via a Somali cartel working with a Jewish governor of a state. Somalians weren't on my list. They were not on my bingo card. Who would have thunk that Somalians were just going to pop out of nowhere?
Well, that's kind of what they're known for. If you go sailing around the Horn of Africa, that's kind of.
But I'm saying in America,
the pirates,
pirates.
One of
get
the
it,
only
but
places in the world that still has piracy.
I know, but bro, in Minneapolis, I don't know, man. I would have thought of it like somewhere bizarre, like Quebec.
Yemen.
Quebec. But Minneapolis, maybe that's precisely why. And you're telling me millions and billions. So
Yep.
what other updates do you have so we could look at it?
Well, okay, so here we call Tim Walz and Somalians retarded, but they stole $18 billion of our money without consequence. I'm pretty sure we're the retards. Here's how in depth they went with all this stuff. Here's a sign from one of the places that he went and looked at, the Quality Leering Center. They didn't even bother to spell check the name they put on the building. Okay. And then, of course, there's the usual obfuscation by the leftists. I showed you the CNN. Here's Minnesota Star Tribune. Trump claims Minnesota lost billions to fraud. The evidence to date isn't close. That was December 7th. Exactly 2 weeks later. Here's what we know about Minnesota's fraud crisis. That's just the shot and chaser.
Wow.
This was a good one. Did you see this? Did you see the interview?
No, I didn't.
The guy said that somebody broke into
Oh, yeah,
his daycare center.
And took all the important documents.
Yeah. Here's one of the holes where they tried to enter through.
It's the Germans, but they didn't do a good job this time.
Okay, you've got the German craftsmanship, and then here's the Somali craftsmanship. Now, I would just like to point out that there's no hole on the other side. There's no hole on the other side.
Right. They were rats. They were living in the walls, bro. It's Sicario.
Unless they were literally in the walls. This is a hole that got made from the inside of the building.
I mean, Somalians typically sleep in walls. I don't know if you know that. It's a really quiet place. It's very dark. No one bothers you. What are the odds? I saw the guy, like, he kept stuttering. Like, I'm literally, nothing in his face said, I'm telling the truth.
Oh,
and I'm
just,
the shock in all this is, I know Patel has said something. I know Bondi has said something. I haven't heard anything from Trump on this though yet.
He doesn't have to say anything.
No, dude. What? The guy that tweets incessantly didn't come out and go.
Everything gets said for him. Like it's got all the classic.
No, bro.
NPR.
No, bro. No.
Look,
no. Hold on. This is the same dude we're talking about that said we're not bringing in people from shithole countries. You're literally dealing with Somalians, and Trump's not gonna say anything. Is it because he's worried about the midterms?
The funny thing, he's looking at this and he's like, "There's nothing I could say that's any bit funnier than how this shit show is playing out."
I don't know,
NPR.
bro.
NPR did a hit piece on the guy so Nick Shirley, the YouTuber, they did a hit piece on him. Shirley is a 23-year-old self-described independent YouTube journalist who made prank videos in high school before pivoting to politics. And then he says, they do realize people grow up, right? Sorry, I wasn't cracking down on fraud as a 15-year-old. Okay, we already covered that. You've got all these videos where people are trying to defend.
Yeah, it's all cope.
There are waitlists for these programs that are years long. There is fraud.
Oops, I said the quiet part out
The
loud.
fraud that is occurring is not at the hand.
Yeah, I know. I saw these. Dude,
Childcare
it's
is
all
that
cope.
I'm unable to work or go to school. I understand fraud is bad.
Uh-oh, what did I just say? The look on her face right now. What did I just say?
Okay, can we pause all this real quick? Because I think we need to have a quick discussion about this in a serious and funny manner. I saw what the police were saying for Minnesota about this, and they were downplaying it. They were saying they were calling all these people. A lot of these claims ain't true, blah, blah, blah. I'm beginning to ask myself, how deep is this rot with this entire controversy that's happening with Minnesota and Somalian daycare frauds? How many people have probably been paid off in this whole thing to look another way? I mean, New York City, in the height of the Coke era, right? The cops were dirty as hell, bro. Cops were given money. Police chiefs were given money to look the other way.
Yep.
And they were shaking these guys down. They weren't just like, no, we're not looking at this. They were using this grift to shake these people down. What happens, Steve? And this is the question I have for you. What happens if we find out that it ain't just the governor, it ain't just his employees and the staff, that it actually extends out into the police service, and that
I think that would be great.
No, but can you describe to people what the steps would look like if the federal government does an investigation to find out that not only Tim Walz is guilty, his office is complicit, the police force is complicit? How does that then change the face of Minneapolis? Like, who do we know what the steps are? Does the National Guard come in to replace the police temporarily? What happens at this point? I mean, we're talking jail for a lot of people here, bro.
It could go any number of different ways. Okay.
I mean, I thought maybe you knew better than me. That's why I'm asking you.
Well, because I mean, what would logically happen is that they would say, okay, well, what kind of complaints have been lodged? And then they would look and say, well, what happened with those complaints? Oh, well, they all went up to the same person who squashed them. Okay, well, let's see if he's bought any new yachts recently.
No, but I'm saying let's assume already that all of them are guilty.
Okay,
like we have
fair
proof.
enough. Yep.
Then what happens? They're all guilty. Police, the
prosecutors, the
judges, maybe even judges, all that stuff. I mean, the entire
inspectors. The inspectors, because people have to go there and inspect. And I feel like if you were inspecting a daycare and you went there and there weren't even any fucking kids, you might have a couple questions.
Right. And if they're going to be slipped money and all. So let's assume this whole thing is one big tumor. I mean, I've never seen what it looks like that an entire state gets canceled. You just cancel a state and we're going to replace everybody overnight. Is that what happens? Like all these people go to jail? Like hundreds of people just end up in jail?
Do we honestly think this just magically ends at the Minnesota border?
By the way, bro, you're so right, because a bunch of people are saying this is happening all over America. It ain't just happening in Minnesota. I've been seeing people in Florida, people in Texas that I've been talking about. There's daycares that nobody's in them. I'm like, holy moly, bro. Millions of dollars just gone. And taxpayers are busting the ass every day. And these guys just get to open buildings.
And they get paid.
Yeah.
All right. So interesting things happening with the pushback for the temporary foreign worker program. So Toronto Star did an article, restaurants left struggling as cuts to Canada's immigration inflict more pain on industry. I don't have a whole lot of sympathy for people whose job depends on basically indentured labor. But this guy, read the replies to remind yourself that some people would rather shrink the economy with fewer restaurants and services, less variety, if it means fewer job opportunities for immigrants. It's not that it's fewer job opportunities for immigrants. It's that the people already living in this country can't get a fucking job.
Yeah.
Okay. Buffalo. This is the Bills Stadium. And look at all that snow. They were hiring people for they were giving people $20 an hour and also giving them food and hot beverages to help them shovel it all out. That's a lot of snow.
I wonder why don't these stadiums have like these roofs that we had? Like, you know,
because they're expensive.
That's it.
The only way you're going to pay for it is if you have a Somali daycare there on the off game days.
Maybe if they changed it to the what's it called again? A leaning center. The Leering Center, they would get a ton of money.
Yeah, instead of the Scotiabank Saddle Dome, it would be the Leering Center Saddle Dome.
It has to be that logo too, bro. It can't be like a nicer logo. It's got to be that logo on the front of the stadium. Oh my goodness, that would be perfect.
Yeah, instead of the Tostitos salsa bowl, it'll be like the Somalian Leering bowl.
Oh man. Okay, keep going. Sorry.
All right. Okay. Troy Westwood, speaking of football, probably the most disappointing player in the history of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, which is saying a lot. Although he is the guy who he's the reason why we call it the Banjo Bowl the week after the Labor Day Classic. So props to him on that. But he's also fucking retarded. He's saying in countries like Norway, Sweden, Denmark, and Australia, who have regions, counties, and states, it is not legally possible for any of them to secede. Maybe an important step to building a truly strong nation is to make the structure of it so that seditionists, treasonous pricks, and outside influencers do not have the option to tear the country apart. I would just like to point out the fact that Norway and Sweden used to be two different countries, and they decided to split up into two different countries. So you're not really making the example that you think you are, you retard.
I will say nothing about this because it's a long road for me and you to talk about this. So I will leave it at that.
All right. Aaron O'Toole, former leader.
Do we have to talk about O'Toole?
We're just okay. Here's the thing. This is his Substack. Advice to the Prime Minister: keep it up. Fuck off, Aaron O'Toole. Just go away. Go away forever.
Yeah.
Now,
please,
I was going to pull up the actual
Please
articles for these, but New York Post just there's so much stuff whenever you open up their sites that it makes everything janky. And then it happened that I saw somebody had they actually had the screenshots of the two tweets. So
yeah, Mamdani. I saw the Mamdani ones.
So Zoran Mamdani fans disappointed by disastrous block party with no food or bathrooms. The socialist mayor of New York is already into the no food phase of socialism. Meanwhile, socialist Zoran Mamdani's wife, Ruma Duwaji, appears to wear luxury $630 boots to swearing-in ceremony. So it's already the money for me and not for thee, and the no food. Socialism comes at you fast.
Yeah, it does. It does.
All right. In a sobering decision,
an
one
unexpected
drunk
new
thief
development in the
apparently
case of
changed
two
his
musical
tune
instruments stolen from a
and returned two mandolins that he had previously stolen, according to the owner of a New Jersey vintage guitar store. You can see the video of him putting the mandolins underneath his jacket. And then here he comes later, dropping them off, along with a note saying, "Sorry, I've been drunk lately."
I feel bad for him, dude. I have a warm spot for people like with a conscience. Yeah, dude. What? That's so funny. You can imagine like the guy takes out like a vintage, one of a kind thing, and his answers, "I'm sorry, I was drunk." Well, I mean, we have here in Montreal the same thing. It's so funny. These places, they don't have like these double doors, where you buzz people in.
Mhm.
With merchandise that expensive in some of these places. Why don't these places have like double doors to let people in and out? Like I don't know. I wonder.
I'm guessing it's expensive.
I mean, I saw a guitar here. I mean, you see the guitar. I have a Gretsch right behind me here. So this is a $2,000 guitar.
Yeah.
Right. This is the low end of where I went to buy them, and people were just walking in and out. And I'm like, how do you know when someone just walked out with a $10,000 guitar? It's not like locked or anything. Anyways, I'm not making a big deal of it.
I mean,
just find it shocking.
Generally speaking, it's hard to sneak a guitar out. The mandolins, he happened to have the jackets with.
No, you can walk out with a guitar brazen, dude. There's people walking into malls stealing jewelry shops with hammers with them, and then they just walk out, and the cops don't do anything. Anyways, let's keep going.
All right, here we got more stuff on guitars. Former MP Charlie.
Oh hell no, he blocked me. Yo, he blocked me and told me off on X. He wrote me a DM and told me off.
Oh, nice. That's even better. He's got me blocked. But that's just because I make fun of how fucking retarded he is. Former MP Charlie Angus planned a quiet retirement. Now he'd rather kick at the darkness, which is a line he stole from Springsteen, I want to say. I think I got that wrong, though. Anyways, I just want to point out, look at that guitar. Do you recognize? That's a Gibson Les Paul.
I'm blinded by the rainbow behind him. That's all I can see.
Okay.
Him wearing whatever the hell he's wearing, a Liberace.
That is
shirt.
a sweet shirt. I'll give him credit for that. That's a
Liberace, dude. That's Liberace. That's Liberace. Just look it up. It's a Liberace shirt.
I would wear that shirt.
You're gay. What do you want me to tell you? You're gay. I have to tell your wife, man, you're gay. I'm sorry. Like, there's no way you should ever wear that shirt unless you're
That shirt
performing.
is deadly. I would love to wear that to a rodeo.
There's only two people that can wear that shirt, and it's Jim Morrison and Liberace. You are not either of these two people.
Jim Morrison hasn't been changing his shirts too much lately.
Yeah.
All right. Here's the thing, though. Okay, look, this is a Gibson Les Paul. This is an expensive fucking guitar. Speaking of expensive guitars,
but that's what
this is
NDP has.
Well, that's exactly. It's socialist. Now, here's the thing. Now, I saw some people on the internet saying, no, I'm pretty sure that's the Epiphone, right?
You looked it up. Real quick. You looked it up. Hold on. He's going to show us. Okay. Yeah. Now we have to wait for Twos to go show us this fancy schmancy guitar, and it's the same guitar. Well, is it the same? It's
the Epiphone.
But is it exactly the same?
Look at it. Look at it. Look at the way the color doesn't go too far past the pickups compared to there where it cuts short.
Right.
Completely different design at the back of it here.
Yeah.
Look,
but it's the same guitar, you're saying.
It's got the scrolls on the side.
And I'm seeing
and I'm seeing a completely different guitar. This is the Epiphone. This is the cheap one. And it's an $800 guitar.
And his is the actual $5,000 version. Yeah, his is the $5,000 version.
Yeah, which is just classic socialist.
Yeah. But I mean, are they socialists? It's not really their fault. We voted how much they get paid. Can't we unvote?
No, we didn't vote how much they get paid. They get voted. They're the ones who vote how much they get paid.
Well, okay, so give me a scenario.
They're the ones who.
Okay, I understand. Let's assume for a second we had a say in what we feel like we need to take down your salaries as citizens.
Mm-hmm.
What can citizens do to push this into our politicians' mindsets that you need to vote down how much you actually are earning?
You would have to vote a party into a majority whose election platform was to lower the wages of the members of parliament, and then also after that have them follow through with that election promise. That is the avenue for citizens to reduce the pay for MPs.
Look, let's keep going with what you want to show, because I think I have other questions.
Okay. So here from OPP Highway Safety Division, talked about this a few weeks ago. They said keep your four-way flashing lights off when you're driving with traffic, even if the driving conditions are less than ideal. But always drive with your full headlights and tail systems turned on day and night. You can use your four-way flashing lights momentarily if you're coming to a sudden and unexpected slowdown or stop on the highway. Only use four-ways continuously when your vehicle is the hazard. For the love of God, people, it's the masks of 2020. Quit using your four-way flashers every time it's fucking cloudy. It's not a virtue signal. You're not helping anybody. When you're braking, it's hard to tell if you're braking. And when you're turning, it's hard to tell if you're turning.
Yeah, maybe. Look, I will say, though, I understand. I'm not judging those people, because sometimes I get into like really foggy weather, and some people just suck at looking in front of them. They're either on their phone or whatever. I want to like max.
That's what the lights are for.
I get it. The red lights. For me, it's an instinctive thing. So you could like shit on me now. I do it so that it's like blinking creates an alert system in the minds of others. You don't see that? You think that just brakes are enough?
Your tail lights. Your tail lights are enough.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
That's all you need.
Yeah, but you don't see them flashing. That's the difference.
You don't need to see them flashing. You don't want to see them flashing.
Man,
Look,
maybe
I get it. Look, you're not the complexion of competent drivers, okay? I love you. You're my chocolate croissant, but leave this to the experts.
Yeah, listen, I mean, all you hillbillies drive a certain way. That's fine. You don't even obey the rules of the road. You guys drive off into like forests and shit. That's fine. You have your own way of driving. But here in Montreal or Ontario, we're back to back to back. Sometimes we can't tell if someone's braking. But then again,
the flashers are on. Turn the fucking flashers off.
We're gonna argue this, but I'll concede on your point that I see what you're trying to say.
Okay, if you have the flashers on, it makes it harder.
Mofo, I said the conversation's over. I just conceded. What else do you want? What do you want to suplex me to the ground?
My show.
I just agreed with you.
No.
No.
It's my show. It's hard for you to maintain social distancing. Let me
Oh
put it in
man,
a way you can understand. Okay?
I just
All right.
conceded it to you, bro. What more do you need?
The four-way flashers are not safe and effective.
I'm
Moving
bringing
along.
this up. I'm telling on you, bro. I'm gonna tell Sean on you.
All right. Just
Lillian
listen to this.
Bonsignor is a career first responder. In just 9 days, she'll be running the world's busiest fire department, one of the most important appointments of the incoming administration.
And they deserve a leader who cares about their work because she did it herself, who understands every detail, and who will fight tirelessly to empower FDNY and make it the best firefighting force in the world.
Lillian Bonsignor began her career as an EMT in 1991 and was ultimately promoted to chief of the city's EMS division, where she served for 3 years before retiring in 2022. Although she never served as a firefighter, she's confident that won't matter.
The head of firefighters in New York, the biggest firefighting brigade in the entire planet,
I mean, if
is
it's legit,
is a lesbian who has never been a firefighter.
I mean, if her job is organizational and bureaucratic, I could understand how that could transfer. But is she actually going to have to put on the gear?
No, but the point of it is she is somebody who's never been a firefighter at all, and she got chosen as the fire chief in the biggest fire whatever in the world, despite having never even done the job. Never done the job. Never done the job.
I know, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, she looks pretty. She looks pretty butch.
She actually looks like someone who could carry you out of a burning building.
That's my point. Like, so I'm not knocking her. Had she been like a little bit more, like modelly, whatever, I'd have questions, But like the fact is that she looks like she actually looks more male than Mamdani in this particular.
That doesn't
picture.
take much. That doesn't take much.
Yeah, I mean the beard is the only thing that makes me say that Mamdani's the man. But the point is this. Hold on, I see where you're going with this. You're picking a very controversial figure who is not qualified, has no experience in the field, and you're putting them in this position of leadership
based on their sexual orientation.
Yeah, the DEI, the whole DEI stuff, right? The question that I have is if okay, let me ask you another question. Let's say she was the chief of the FBI. Put her in a bikini, right? Of course, Glenn's gonna say that. Amazing. Do we really want our eyes to melt, Glenn? That's the question I would have. The second question is this: if she would have been head of the FBI, would you have been okay with that, or still not okay with that?
I would have been if she had been the head of the FBI based on a career of being an EMT, I would not be okay with that either.
No, she was, forget EMT. She used to be, she's butch, she's a lesbian, and she's the head of the FBI.
Does she have any sort of, has she ever worked for the FBI before? Does she have any?
Yes, she was the head of the FBI. She was and went all the way up to the head of the FBI. And now she's changing laterally to the head of the fire department. Is it because she was an EMT? What if she was something else that was like really high up there? Like,
No.
Let's say she was military.
You need to be a firefighter.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter. She could have been a 4-star general in the military, and to you, that still doesn't matter.
Because she needs to know how to.
Right. That's all I'm saying. I'm just asking, man. I'm not knocking you. I'm just trying to figure out, is it because she was an EMT?
Watch for this. I'm guessing it's going to go pretty fucking poorly.
You think so?
I think so. So. Sean's been talking about predictions. I'm predicting that this will not go well.
Well, anything DEI doesn't go well, so I'll agree with you. But I mean, I don't know, man. Those shoulders look pretty broad, bro.
Yeah, you think she can carry the organization with those broad shoulders?
I don't know, bro. I mean, she has a guy like Mamdani behind her. They could carry a lot.
Okay. The American Communists something or other posted this video, and then
this is gonna be exciting.
Down. All right. Very quick video, but watch it. Watch it. Tell me if anything jumps out at you. The American Communist Party. Did anything jump out at you there? They're
No.
showing all these communists working, doing a reno on a kitchen. Well, first off, there's the guy here who basically you could tell just by looking at him has basically never held a fucking screwdriver in his life. Okay. But now here, you see where the hinges are?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. And you see him putting the handle.
Why would that be in there, right? Why would the handle be on that side?
These communists who need to be taken seriously because they're hardworking people put up a video of them renovating a kitchen. And when dude is putting the handles on the cabinets, he put the handle on the inside of the door.
No, what's worse is that they filmed it and put it into the edit. That's what's worse. Like the guy.
So not only did this guy not know what he was doing, the guy videoing him didn't know what he was doing. The guy who edited it didn't know what he was doing. The guy who put it up on the internet also didn't know what he was looking at. This is an 11-second video, and you couldn't find 11 seconds of them working competently?
Yeah. I wish more Canadians just saw it, had a stream of this constantly. They need to see what these countries and what these ideologies create with these types of things.
In Soviet Russia, cabinet opens you.
No, I have a friend. He left Cuba and he lives here in Ottawa. And we talk and he tells me about unbelievable stories about how socialism is just a nightmare. I mean, it's like people can live, they'll survive, they're happier on less, but nothing is available to them. You go to Cuba, you bring them a toothbrush, it's like they received heaven. And I'm like, why would we ever want to invite that into our country?
Toothbrushes? Vesper, I get the fact that you haven't been here for a while, but toothbrushes are a good thing to have in a country.
I didn't mean that, but I see your point, and I agree. I agree with you. You got me on that one, bro. I'm having a slow day.
Okay.
I'm having a slow day.
I was at a resort in Cuba once, and the power went out, and all they could serve us was spaghetti noodles with ketchup. That was what we ate at the resort one day because that was the only food available was spaghetti noodles with fucking ketchup.
Why didn't you just go fishing in the water?
That would have been a good idea. Could have had a big
cookout on the ocean. Yeah, man, on the beach and everything. Yep. See, that's the length of Western potato brains like you. They don't think that far ahead. They just think oh, you want to give me spaghetti and ketchup? Oh, I could do that. No problem. Not us, bro. We live high life. We figured stuff out. It's not like you guys.
The trick of it
potatoes here,
Vesper, was that I didn't know that I was only going to be eating fucking spaghetti with ketchup until I sat down there.
Precisely. You didn't know.
Forecast it. They didn't forecast it and say, hey, you know what? Just a heads up.
You didn't know when you were literally visiting a country surrounded by water that was surrounded by water, that there's fish in that water.
I knew that there's fish in that water. There still are fish in that water, but I didn't know that the only thing on my plate was going to be fucking pescetti.
Because you're enjoying the pescetti with ketchup like a good white guy. You don't think like the brown guys. Hey, let's go out and get some fish. There's an ocean all around us. No. Let's enjoy ketchup and spaghetti. Okay, sweetheart, I'm sorry. I didn't mean for this to happen to you.
Yeah, fine.
If Eli was here, he would have figured out maybe we could have hunted a wild boar, caught us some kind of fish or something.
Let's take advice from
I digress.
Turmeric on everything. Okay.
That's all right. That's right. First of all, it's cumin. Okay. Just to be fair, it's cumin.
I didn't know you were
not
Mexican.
Turmeric. It's cumin. All right. Don't label me. It's cumin. Cumin is the king of spices. All right. That's it.
Yeah.
Spaghetti with ketchup. There's an ocean around you. I didn't know. I'll figure it out next time. I just do what I was told. That's literally
meanwhile, Vesper's up in the honeymoon suite making babies. I'm cumin.
Sean is never gonna let us back on together. He's like, you're never coming back on. We're gonna have to put an R rating whenever the show starts.
Well, apparently it did get spicy right there. So London, New Year's Eve, there was a fireworks thing. They sold tickets to the fireworks that you could go in a certain area, and then they closed off a park so that people couldn't go to the park and watch the fireworks for free. They made it illegal in England to watch the fireworks without paying for them.
Next.
The memes came out like crazy. We'd like to remind you that you need to close your curtains during the fireworks display tonight. What are you in for? Watching fireworks for free? I hope you're not planning on watching the fireworks for free. Order of Canada. Now, there's been a whole lot of people who got named in this year, including, people like Jean Robert from Quebec, Michelle Whitney Rockley, Leonard Sheen, Walter John Schroeder, Cindy Schwartz. Gary Clark is on here somewhere too, by the way. And also near the bottom, Nardwuar, the human serviette.
Hey, don't knock Nardwuar. Nardwuar is the shit.
Nardwuar, shit. Nardwuar,
no.
We are not a serious country.
What do you know about him? Do you know that this is the guy that used to? No, forget this. This is the dumb.
Yeah. I mean, here we go. Forget this. Here's something I can tell you about this guy.
Can I finish a sentence? This is the same dude that grilled Chrétien, Mulrooney, every one of them, and all their bullshit policies when he was in high school and growing up. He'd show up and ask these questions. He was like the Rebel News at that time. Now, did he sell out? Maybe.
Well, for those of you listening and not watching, here's a picture of Nardwuar with Mark Carney celebrating the election win.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not saying that the guy can't change. He could be getting funding from CBC.
Do you remember what he was doing in the lead up to the election? He was soft campaigning for Carney. And then it just so happens that when the next round of Order of Canada people get nominated, he's on the list. Isn't that convenient?
I look, here's the harsh reality that I sometimes wonder, and I know you understand it. I'm talking not to you anymore. I'm talking to all the listeners. Money talks, BS walks. Everyone checks their ideology at the door when you're presented with a really big check. You got people, senators in America, getting paid 10 measly grand to sell out to BlackRock. If I walk up to you, whoever you are listening right now, and I say, hey, put this up on your company wall or on the front of your door, or I want you to pass these things along. And you may be like, I don't believe in any of this liberal blah, 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 blah. And they'll say, fine, I'll give you $25K right now. How many of you would say, thank you for the $25K? I will go do what you say. Not many people would probably do that because they say, I stand by it. But man, times are tough. And you got to weigh your ideology versus what you're earning. I think people like this getting paid off, bought off, it's not a new thing. It's not a unique thing. There's plenty of people.
You got paid off for a fucking lapel pin.
Yeah, but who cares? How many people get paid off for less? There's Canadians I know that if I gave them $5,000, man, they'll do almost anything.
That's not really making the argument you think it is.
It is making the argument. You just won't accept the argument. What are you talking about?
Okay.
Of course I'm making
the argument. The liberals have shit all over the economy to the point where they can buy people off with lapel pins, and you're saying that's completely understandable.
And cash.
Wait, are you gonna hold on? One day we need to hold a freaking.
This is the exact strategy. This is the exact election strategy in Canada. Let's buy people off.
Yes,
with a bunch of free shit.
Well, hold on. If it didn't work, hold on. Twos. If it didn't work, then why do they keep getting elected?
I'm saying it's bad, and you're saying it's understandable.
Yes, I'm saying it's bad. We're all going to say it's bad that more people don't have moral fortitude. But shit, man, when I eat to feed my kid, my moral fortitude kind of takes a break. I'm just saying I'm keeping it real, man. I'm not saying I would sell out. I've been offered money. I didn't need it. Remember when they were offering CERB and SEBA and all that stuff? I didn't need that money. But there's some people, they don't care. You think everything that CERB and SEBA was foreigners? No, dude, we got Canadians that game the system too. Let's not pretend that didn't happen either. Right?
Well, let's go to happy news.
I actually thought somebody messaged that happy news.
No, it's the headline. It's the
Let's go.
headline. It's like, oh, for those of you who didn't notice, this was. Oh, sorry, no, that wasn't right. When we had, but here's the thing: was when we had Charlie Angus up. This is what I had underneath it.
They're not a serious party.
The NDP can throw a serious party, and there's Charlie Angus rocking out. But here's happy news. Okay.
Right.
2 neighboring homes in Red Deer, Alberta turn their backyards into a shared hockey rink every winter for their kids, complete with a tiered viewing area, a hot tub, and a grill. Look at that. How cool is that?
Bro. Wow. Dude, it looks professional and everything.
It is pretty fucking professional.
That is so sick. I mean, you can imagine the dads, all the kids in the neighborhood. People
they would be there.
Other neighborhoods. People coming from other neighborhoods.
Like, that's a place to go.
Yeah, bro. And a grill and a jacuzzi. What?
Yep. PV Mart. So I'm guessing you don't know what. Yeah,
I don't know.
Okay. All right. It's Western Canadian, basically farm supply store. But
Gotcha.
like,
okay.
Just a staple of Western Canada.
Gotcha. Okay.
Think like I don't know.
No, I get what you mean.
Yeah.
It's mostly for farm, like freshly picked carrots and
no. Farm supply store. So
okay. So we have it here.
You get workwear, work gloves.
Yeah, we have something here called Renault Depot, where it's basically everything construction, but half of the place is for farming, basically.
Okay. All right.
You can get dirt. You can get like replacement parts for your like machinery. You can get all these things.
You're really like from the ground up as far as farming goes.
I'm not exactly a farmer either, right? So
all right. So yeah, it's just great. You walked in there and just the smell of it. Oh, and anyways, they all closed a little while ago.
Oh no. Okay.
Just
they went bankrupt.
Ripple effects of the lockdowns.
Oh, so bankrupt. They essentially filed
and
Chapter
so
11.
now they're starting to open back up. A couple of them are opening back up again. So Lacombe, Camrose, and then Westlock and Spruce Grove.
How have they been doing, by the way? Has there been like an influx of people supporting them?
It's only been a couple weeks, man.
I know, but have you heard anything?
I haven't heard. This is all I've heard about it. Just Marty. Shout out to Marty. Marty posted this, and I was like, "That's the happy news right there." And then here's some more. Well, happy news, but also fuck this guy. In May, Grandpa David from Alberta won $1 million on Lotto 649. He's won 4 different times. 250 grand 12 years ago, $500,000 in August 2024, $1 million in November 2024, and $1 million in May 2025.
And meanwhile, you got people that like their whole lives they've never won once.
Yeah. So like, hey, good on you, but also at the time, you fucking prick.
Hey man, just go open a Somali daycare. You'll make what he made in like a month.
Yeah, a week.
You know. So,
yeah.
Not to make light of that. But by the way, that's something we didn't cover. Ilhan Omar is now under like tremendous pressure because they're like, how'd you come in with $40,000 and now you have $40 million? And so they're thinking about auditing her. Can you imagine?
That would be good.
If they audit her and they find out that she was getting kickbacks from Somalian refugees, what that would mean, bro. Woo! It has to happen under Trump. I'm seeing a ton of MAGA just lose their mind that Trump they're all like, look, dude, this is the final straw. You better crack down on this. We're not taking anything. Like we went soft on you for the Epstein stuff, but this is something, no way. You need to crack on this. I mean, you got Musk on X calling Waltz a traitor, a treasonous traitor.
I'm looking forward to seeing how this all falls apart. I think it's going to be great.
You think so? You think it's going to fall apart in Trump's presidency? It has to. It has to fall in his presidency.
It can't not. There's too much daylight on it. That's the thing.
Yeah. I mean, even Musk, who's had like his run-ins with Trump, is now supporting Trump in his midterms because he's like, I don't like the guy, but the alternative is basically way worse. Freedom of speech.
And that's how first past the post works. You don't vote for who you like. You vote against who you hate the most.
Basically.
All right. But yeah, so that's the stories this week, folks. So thanks for tuning in. Vesper.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's my pleasure. Always my pleasure. It's enjoyable to sit with a a Westerner and talk about things that require intelligence. I'm sure you learned a few things. I'll teach you the alphabet next time we get on. But I didn't have time right now. You know, we had to talk a lot about
Had
a lot of
neither the
important
time
things.
nor the crayons.
I want everyone to know Twos is like the most authentic dude in the world. Twos, I want to give a little bit of background on you that not everybody knows. Twos calls me sometimes, and he is the most genuine person. He's always asking me how I'm doing, how my family is doing. He's gifted me a wonderful book on economics because he basically thinks I'm illiterate and I don't understand how to do mathematics and understand the
considering
economy.
the fact that you haven't talked to me about how the book's going, I'm guessing you are illiterate.
Oh, I am. I'm secretly illiterate. I just keep books here just to look smart to people that come here. But that's not the point. The point is he is an absolutely genuine person. He's not pretending who he is. He is actually this great of a dude, and his comedy is even funnier when he's not in front of a camera. So I want everyone to know I'm dispelling this. And believe me, if anyone's gonna shit on this guy, it's me. He really is one of the most authentic people, and I'm always glad to be on a space with you, dude, and chat.
Well, thank you very much, Vesper.
Cool.
It's you're somebody I'm glad to call a friend.
Same here, man. All right, listen,
All right.
I guess we got to get going.
Yeah. So one more time, the new slogan of the show, I guess. Crede mihi frater. I got to figure out how to pronounce that.
Trust me, bro. Crede mihi frater. That you need a little bit of that French in you, you know, like the
it's
Francais.
Latin. It's not French.
Well, what do you think French is from?
What do you think English is from?
German.
Germanic.
No, it has Latin in it, but but French is mostly Latin. English is half Latin.
Okay,
and
all
half
right.
Germanic.
So okay. So why would it be French then and not Spanish or Portuguese or Italian?
Well, Portuguese is not Latin.
They're all the
No, that's not Spanish.
They came from.
No, Spanish is not Portuguese.
I get the fact that Spanish is not Portuguese, but the point is that they all got the same daddy, which is Latin. And so why are you saying that the French twist on it is better instead of like?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I think French is the most noble of all the Latin languages. It's just, it sounds nicer. And it's just, I mean, didn't you ever watch The Matrix where the Merovingian says?
Yeah. That was the most bullshit fucking scene.
No, he says
it's in a movie. The only redeeming quality of that scene was the fact that Monica Bellucci was there at her absolute prime.
Okay, fine. But the Merovingian is right. French is literally the most noble language of the Latin languages. The only one more noble would be Latin itself.
The only thing French sounds like is you've got a mouthful of chocolate sauce and gravel.
There's a reason, dude, and I'm not talking about Western. Listen, I'm not talking about Western women because Western women don't buy anything French. Like when you talk to them in France, I will never be able to woo an Albertan woman by saying, "Bonjour, mon chéri, comment ça va?" She's gonna say, "Are you from Quebec? Get the hell on out of here." That's what she's gonna basically tell me to do. But every other place in the world, when I speak French, it's like, twinkles in their eyes because it's the language of love, bro. Paris is the place of love. The Eiffel Tower, the wine, the baguettes. You know what I mean?
The surrendering, the German occupations. Yeah. I kind of doubt, Vesper, that you speaking a few words in surrender-ese makes women wetter than a Calgary water main.
You're right. Listen, they're immune. I don't deny it. Everybody west of Quebec is, maybe Ontario, I'd say, is immune to French at this point. There's no romance here. There's no romance. I agree. But dude, listen, I don't want to keep you. I got to get going too. But
all right,
I want you to know that this has been a blast, man. And shout out to the Mashup. Join next week, man. Awesome place to be. Super fun.
Like, share, subscribe.
Yeah, man.
Stuff. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
And anyone else that you ever want to see what I'm posting, just go to Vesper Digital on X, and I'll see you guys there.
All right. Thanks again, man.
Peace.
No. Sorry, I was hitting the wrong button. Here we go. This is the button.